meeting for February. Could she stand to the pledge, please? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Swab.
Here.
Mrs. Brewer. Here. Mr. Beestecker.
Here.
Mrs. Levy. Mrs. Hill. Here.
I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening in our nice spring day, right?
There you go.
Pretty warm. So first item is reviewing our agenda. Do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda? If we have not, could I have a motion to approve the printed agenda?
Move to approve.
Thanks, Maria, and a second. Thanks, Scott. A roll call for approval.
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Beestecker.
Yes.
Next items we have are the minutes from the organizational, regular, and the special session. Have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Thanks, Holly, and a second.
I'll second.
Thanks, Maria. Any discussion or question regarding the minutes? Hearing none, can I have a roll call for approval, please?
Mrs. Hill.
Yes.
Dr. Swab.
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer.
Yes.
Mr. Beestecker.
Yes.
Next, I'd like to turn the meeting over to our administrative team for our student spotlights.
All right, this is the best part of the month, every month, is recognizing our kids who come to school and do a great job and get to be recognized for all of their great hard work and good character. So we're gonna start off with Aurora Mead. Come on up, Aurora. Says she was nominated by Mrs. Hart, one of her teachers. She said, I have nominated Aurora Mead for this month's Student Spotlight. She is a hard worker. On any given day, you can find her completing her work and helping others. While working, she stays focused, even when there is some crazy things going on sometimes around her. Her behavior is fantastic, and it has been noticed that she does remind others of how their behavior should be. So she's a good art reminder. She also helps out in our cafeteria in the morning sometimes, don't you, Aurora? She is the best example of what a Bradford railroader should be. So let's congratulate Aurora.
That way just a little bit, so there you go.
Sure.
That's a little better background than the copy machine.
All right, thanks, Aurora. This young man is not here tonight, but we're going to go ahead and recognize him as well. Lucas Walkerman was nominated by Mrs. Griffith. Lucas is currently a third grader at Bradford Elementary. Outside of school, he enjoys doing creative activities like coloring, drawing, and making new things. He also enjoys playing with his brothers. I have nominated Lucas for this month's Student Spotlight because he is a great role model for the students at Bradford. Lucas comes to school every day with a smile on his face and a positive attitude. He is very thoughtful and always willing to give a helping hand. Without any reminders or complaints, Lucas shows he is ready to learn by being prepared for class each day and following all expectations. His dedication to doing his best is an inspiration to his classmates and is a representation of his ability to lead others. Lucas's constant hard work in the classroom has contributed to his academic growth this year. With his kind heart, creativeness, and constant determination, I know he will have many more accomplishments in his future. I look forward to watching his continued success. Let's give Lucas a round of applause. The church is tomorrow. Okay. Sure. Well, if you like to, nobody ever offered it. Yeah. She's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't even ask.
So this is Aurora Lear. She's a third grader here at Bradford, and she loves to read, draw, and spend time with her friends. I nominated her for the Student Spotlight because she constantly goes above and beyond and truly exemplifies what it means to be Bradford's best. She demonstrates a genuine love for school, arriving each day with a smile on her face, a positive attitude, and determination to never give up. Her kindness, caring nature, and respect for others makes her a great role model for her peers. And through her actions and attitude, she helps create a welcoming and uplifting school environment and serves as an outstanding example of our school values.
I need to add that Aurora loves roller coasters, huh, Aurora? She's my little Kings Island buddy.
There you go. All right, Aubrey Austin is our next one. She's here. Aubrey was nominated by her teacher, Mrs. Boland. She said, I would like to recognize sophomore Aubrey Austin as this month's Bradford Board of Education Student Spotlight. I chose Aubrey as this month's Student Spotlight for her kindness, positive attitude, and strong character. She brings a great energy into the classroom each day and treats both peers and staff with respect. She demonstrates a strong work ethic by always completing projects and assignments on time and taking pride in the quality of her work. She stays focused on the task at hand, follows directions, and is willing to challenge herself when learning something new. Aubrey is always willing to lend a helping hand, whether she is supporting a classmate, assisting a teacher, or helping others around the building. Her thoughtfulness and willingness to contribute makes a positive impact on our school community. Aubrey is a wonderful example of what it means to be responsible, kind, and a hardworking student, and she truly deserves this recognition. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And Kat Maynard is our last student to be recognized. Kat, unfortunately, is not here tonight, but we definitely want to recognize her. She was nominated by Mrs. Byron. Kat Maynard is my choice for Bradford Student Spotlight for February because of her dedication to learning and her tenacity to always do her best. She is a driven and hardworking student whose strong work ethic shines through in everything she does. Kat approaches her studies with focus and determination, always striving to improve and take pride in her progress. She consistently pushes herself both in and out of the classroom to be involved and to excel in whatever she pursues. Beyond academics, Kat is deeply passionate about her friends and her cheering, and her enthusiasm, commitment, and work ethic serve a positive example for both her teammates and her classmates. So congratulations to Kat. Those students are here, and
parents can go too.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Bye, Aurora. Thank you. She's Violet's friend, and we take her for bring a friend when we go, and she loves roller coasters. So she makes Violet ride.
She is always smiling here at school. Just adorable.
She is tall enough to ride the rides, believe it or not. She's so great. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Next, administrative reports.
So Mr. Hart is not here today. He did ask me to kind of go over some things that he wanted to report to the school board. So the very first thing is the Battle of Road, which is a class competition between various grades. They've done a number of little competitions. They did song bingo today. They played a snippet of the songs over the intercom, and if the kid had it, and if they got a bingo, they turned it in.
We did little ducks in the hallway too.
Ducks in the hallway. They're doing something who's who with
Writing, teachers writing and to figure out who's writing.
yeah. So they've got a bunch of different games. Mrs. Jeans and Mrs. Byron kind of taking this on to do, and it's been pretty competitive. Sixth grade is in first place, and the older kids aren't really
They're not.
happy about that.
They
They
make comments.
yeah. So it's kind of a way to bring in a little bit of morale and spirit amongst the students. So, and then last Friday we had our National Honor Society induction, and our 4 inductees were Scarlett Anderson, Piper Burgett, Caitlin Price, and Natalie Wood. And we put the state testing dates would start on April 13th, and then go all the way through the 28th of April. So each day has different testing, and you guys are just doing the
Started like.
2 hours a day for the high school. So The kids who have to take the test will,
And intervention.
and kids getting intervention will have to be here in the morning. Elementary will still be here in the morning. Students who aren't testing or in elementary, testing or intervention, will not have to come in until 10 o'clock. And then from the elementary, we have our training. This is a little bit earlier than we've had it in the past. We're having it March 18th. And the reason why we're having it early is one of the kindergarten teachers is about ready to go on maternity leave, and she wanted to be able to see the students before they, she left. So we're going to have it. There's a new change in the law that now allows you to register if you are 5 years old by the first day of school. And you guys will vote on when the first day of school is later today. So we're looking forward to actually having a date to tie that down. And then, so right now we have registration and scheduling, and I know Ms. Cannon has been doing that. I've been seeing her work. Yeah, lots of calls, a lot of brothers and sisters as she's looking up addresses on the order ones. In order to register, you have to register through final forms. You need to bring a birth certificate, immunization records, parent ID, proof of residency, social security card, and if there are any custody paperwork, we need that. So if you, for those who may be watching the board meeting, if you have a student who's going to be 5 on the first day of school, and you have any issues, don't have it on final forms, feel free to call out here. We'll help you out with that.
Do we have, well, I mean, our start date, when was it? Did, like, each school pick their own? Because I know ours was later than most.
So the law said that you had to be 5 by August 1st. So if you.
Like our policy or state law?
State law. So that they just recently changed the state law to allow it to be
By the first day.
first day of school. So we actually had students who wanted to go this year and couldn't because they weren't 5 by August 1st, even though they might have been turned 5 at August 10th.
Okay.
So,
Because I was thinking ours was later than most schools before. For some reason, I felt like Covington started before us and we had our policy was a later date than.
maybe it is, maybe it was the policy. I just know that when we did registration last year, we couldn't have them come until August 1st. So state laws changed across the board. So I did what I think might be the hardest job I'll have to do is elementary principal I had to choose the Charlie Brown Award winners for this first semester. And we had a lot of really good candidates. I read through those applications about 20 times, kept reading through them to pick which one. And our 2 Charlie Brown Award winners for citizenship and beginner second grade was Archie Smith. And for 3rd through 5th grade was Jason Martin. And both of them were very deserving of the Charlie Brown Award. But a lot of the other students that were nominated were deserving as well. So it was it's a very difficult choice to make. So, and then actually the night of our next school board meeting, we're actually having our Read Across America family night, and it'll be from 5:30 to 6:30 on March 11th. So it's before the school board meetings. If you guys want to come out and take a look, it's usually packed. Last year, I mean, I think there was probably more people there last year than there were at open house, and that tends to be really widely attended. Just like last year, we'll have reading source boards. Those will get sent home on the 23rd, and they have different tasks to help parents maybe read with their kids or do fun little activities. And if they get all of those, they can turn them in for a prize. We'll also do a scavenger hunt. We did one of those last year where if the kids go to every one of the different stations, they can turn it in for a prize. So I think we had, I want to say it was close to 200 students with their parents here last year. So it was really well attended. I'm looking forward to seeing as many people come out this year as well. And if you ask the parents to RSVP by February 18th, just so we know how much supplies, how much food, stuff like that. And then we have the mini chair night, which was last Saturday. which was also the night of the UD pep band, which it could have been a better night for both of those. But the girls did a really good job. They always do. I got to preview their dance before they went out, and they rocked it. We've got a bright future for Bradford cheerleading if these girls stay interested. So I think there was 70 kids, K through 5.
Not
So-
fighting, no.
so-
It was a packed house.
Yes.
There are so many people here, and I don't want to hijack this, but Coach McCullough had some connection with seeing the UD pep band at a different school and invited them to come up here, and they did. I mean, it was free of charge. We went and picked them up, and then we fed them, and it was the only connection we had or obligation we had to them, and they were absolutely amazing. They sounded great. The leader, the conductor, if you will, came out, talked to the crowd beforehand. You're the sixth man on the team, and we need you in the game, and this is going to be a win because you're going to be so loud, and let's teach you some cheers. And they played our fight song. They just all sorts of stuff. And
Yeah, the conductor had like an LED coat where you could actually see the basketball on the back of the coat. I mean, it was pretty cool.
About pep band and it was just
And they even let
so
us play along, because I saw people that posted with our kids saying, we gotta play with the UD pep band. So that's
and
pretty
it
cool.
was just so cool to have. So
Yeah.
it was amazing. So shout out to them.
Yes.
They did a great job. And our kids, of course.
Okay, and then upcoming events, Friday is the Valentine's Day party, which is the last of the elementary parties. I always like looking at the kids are very, very creative when they come up with their boxes. It's a lot different than it was when I was in school, where you took a shoe box, wrapped it in.
Tissue
Yeah.
paper, glued some hearts, candy hearts on it,
I
yeah.
know, it's- They take a whole new level.
Yes, I did when I was them too.
14th, this Saturday is the ACT. Important update, on the 16th, we have a makeup day for our 6th snow day. So we will have school next Monday. The 25th, the Arts and Education Dark County Center for the Arts is coming into the school for an assembly for grades 4 through 6. I think it has something to do with Harriet Tubman, because I got some stuff to pass out to the teachers on Harriet Tubman, so that'll be pretty interesting. We're trying something new this year. We're doing a Disability Awareness Day. We were actually supposed to do this last month, but we didn't have school, or no.
It was the Friday.
Before, so we didn't have enough time to, and we wanted to be able to, because we've got people coming in, but the whole purpose behind it is to kind of allow students to experience what it may be like to be disabled or have challenges that disabled people have. I've done this, I guess, over the last few years. Emily Beck, who is our speech therapist, brought up this idea, hey, is this something we want to do? And me and Mr. Barr talked about it, and we thought it was a great idea. So it'll be junior high and high school in the morning, and they'll have different stations that they have to go to, each station representing a different disability, and then the elementary will have in the afternoon. So we're really looking forward to it. We've got people from the Dark County ESC coming in. We've got people coming from Dark County DD coming in. So there'll be quite a few people coming in. And this is an excellent job doing this. On March 4th is PTO meeting. It's also National Tornado Drill Day. The 8th, and this is hard to believe, but it's savings time, so it'll start getting lighter a lot later. The 9th is the high school Arts and Education Assembly. 10th is the FFA banquet. The 11th, like I said, is the Read Across America night. It's also the school March school board meeting. And then on the 27th is the junior high dance, and the 28th is the father-daughter dance, and both of those last two dances are sponsored by the PTO. So very excited. Any questions?
Thanks, Brian. Any other administrative reports from Trent? It's up. for you?
No,
Maria,
I
anything
have
from you?
nothing today.
Next is our superintendent. We flew through those.
How about that? We'll try to do the same. A couple of updates here that we've got. The roofing project. The roof is on. The flashing on the outside is the only thing they've got left. They've actually taken all the excess stuff off the roof. So it's ready to go. We met with the folks from the solar install yesterday, I guess is what it was. They've got everything lined up, so as soon as the roofers give their warranty stamp of approval and they're done with everything they've got, they will start their process and start putting those solar panels up. They expect it only a matter of 3 or 4 weeks to be done. So they thought everything would go very fast once pieces were in place, but they are waiting on one permit before they can actually get one. Field house, we met today with the architects this year. We gave them a lot of input over the last month. And today they gave us our first rendering of those ideas. We're on, I think, the right track. We're not done yet, but we've got some good ideas on paper. And then the last one here is the calendar update. You'll see tonight is the night that we would vote on the calendar. Hopefully everything goes well. As of today, I have had 0 people ask me or comment anything about the calendar, so there is no additional community input that I have to share with you tonight. So it's ready for a vote. One other thing, I'm going to reiterate something Mr. Daugherty had already said. Because we've had 6 snow days, it's built into our current calendar that President's Day is a makeup day. I just want to refresh everybody's mind that that is coming up. So we will be here in school or in school on Monday as a result of that 6th snow day. So we're going to work with, we've already got things worked out with all of our 260-day contract employees that were here during calamity days. We're going to trade off some days and that sort of thing so they don't have to work additional time. But we will be here Monday. So that concludes my report, unless you have questions.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, Carla?
Well, I'll talk here in a little bit about the 5-year forecast, but wanted to talk about, we're experiencing an onslaught of information requested by our auditors. We are now under audit. This is the thing that has to be done by March 31st each year in order to be in compliance with the federal law and all the grants that we have. So there has been a lot of delegation the last few days when we got this massive list of items, because actually they're auditing the way I would expect them to audit this year. So it's going to be an interesting process to get through. But I don't have any reservations. It's more or less that they have to see that we're doing what we need to do, and I don't think they'll have any problems with that. Mr. Hirsch talked about the solar project a little bit. I'm working with Amoresco out of California. There's a lot of people because of us being involved with the grant for the ODOD, and been working very closely with them and working with the Ohio Department of Development and Amoresco to try to comply with all the rigorous requirements they have since we got the $500,000 grant from the state. And it's been a real learning experience, and I'm going to be working on trying to learn all about the solar credits and how those are applied in our district. I've decided that most places hire a consultant. I feel like that we've kind of got an edge on this, that I like to be hands-on. We will probably talk with a consultant, but do the work ourselves. So we seem to be fairly successful in doing that. So we're going to attempt that with this project also. We have a school bus audit coming up where they are going to look at everything about our electric buses, all the paperwork, everything that's occurs. So that's coming up, I think it's the 24th of this month is what I recall. So that's another audit that's occurring. And working through Medicaid, we're also involved with an audit on that. So we are heavily invested in paperwork right now. But talking about paperwork, I want to talk to you a little bit about what is no longer known as the 5-year forecast. It is now a 4-year forecast, but I've maintained the 5-year forecast because I think it's more adequate to see directionally where we're at. And we're in some pretty interesting times right now, where in the past, we've always had a forecast where I would bring it to you in November, and I would give you an update in the month of May. That is no longer what the law calls for it. If you recall at the September meeting, I gave you an update, and then I've been working to go through all our numbers. I actually go through every category and forecast to see what it looks like relative to where we started. And I look at the comparison, and it's ironic. Having gone through every section and every component, when you look through your various items, there are several components that we have to deal with. And on the overall forecast for this year, it looks like we may be about $165,000 better than I thought in September. But we've got some other things. We've had a huge increase in our purchase services this year. That's concerning to me, and we've talked about this at length. We've got to get some control, but many of those factors are out of our control because we have costly transportation we're providing to students that just happen to have disabilities where we have to meet those particular laws. And we seem like we have been unusually hit with that this year. So I'm hopeful, I've actually got that trend in there. I'm hopeful we can work through that. But as you look through the figures that I've given you, I'm just going to talk basically about, you want to switch, you've got the screen switch. The forecast, and we've talked about this, I'm not going to belabor this, it's just mostly, we're talking about state and local revenues, we're talking about that we have our revenues and expenditures, and we're talking about all the expenses that go on in the school district. What is different this year is that we have all these House bills that have been passed that are going to have a dramatic impact on schools all through the state. Now, good or bad, I'm not thinking that we're going to be as impacted because most schools in the state, their real estate taxes are their primary source of revenue. And our district, it's our second primary source of revenue as far as a local revenue that we can control. But it's still, I looked at the 5-year trend, and to lose that component, the component that is possibly going to end up on the ballot for abolishment is about $5.5 million. It's a serious decrease to our system. So I'm trying to take a look at this forecast and make sure that we're monitoring it the best way we can. So looking at these House bills, and I can go into some detail, but I'm just going to go into a basic overview tonight. We've got the various House bills. We've got an inflation cap on school district property taxes. We have the millage calculation changes. Basically, what's happening, we're at the 20 mil floor. They're going to alleviate some for the taxpayers by putting a cap on that and not letting it get out of hand like they have the last few years. And the problem that I'm seeing, and I think that everyone is seeing, is that property taxes have made extraordinary increases over the last few years, and there's justification for the concern by the constituents we have. So I think that it should have been addressed earlier by the legislature. But that not having happened may create an overreaction. So I think it's going to take a lot of education on our parts to make people understand what these taxes do and how they're valuable for the services they're receiving. that's one of the things. I've actually got a couple of articles I've written, and I just haven't distributed them yet because I think it's too early. And I think that people have to start looking at what all they're going to lose without those taxes. But in our particular case, and going through that, and Joe, why don't you just flip down through, I don't want to go through all these bills tonight. You've got the Budget Commission that has more power now. We have in our county, we had the piggyback exemption, which is going to finish our budget by about 22,500, because it's only going to affect Miami County, not Dark County. Those are the things that are just whittling away the dollars that we have. But they're all things that we can live through if we can keep the structure in place as it currently is. Now, Joe, if you want to go over, that's the graph I really want you to see, is that we have a graph here. The red shows our expenditure, the blue shows our revenue. Basically what it is if we can keep our real estate taxes intact, that we flatline our revenues, but we have some expected increases in where we're at with our particular expenses. As I said, our purchase services have been extraordinarily high. When you look at our utility bills from a year ago have gone up 40%. So that I've actually projected a decrease in that because of the solar panels. So that was one of the things we talked about yesterday. Our timing on these solar panels was
Extraordinary.
it was an extraordinarily good move, and I think it will help us. But that's what, if we can get rid of the administrative costs that we have, and we're never going to eliminate all of them, but if you can help reduce those costs, then you can focus more in on the educational aspect of it. The green line indicates where the balances of the dollars go. As I said, this is 5 years. It's our goal to not let that line get to that point. But with all the information we have now, that's what it looks to be. And when you look at the next slide, I'm not going to go through this. This talks about the various components that we have. Our real estate taxes are 13.1%. Our income tax is 17.2%. As you can see, our state foundation is our largest number, and that's almost 59%. And that is what we are starting to see leveling out on that we haven't in the past. We were getting some increases on that, and now some of the legislation has gone through, and the lack of funding putting into the plan, we'll be lucky to retain those dollars where we're at this point. And now we're going to look at the local versus state revenue. As you can see, there's not a lot of variation between that. That just shows our funding pattern. Go over to the expenditures. Once again, that shows our wages and our fringes. This is probably one of the more alarming things that I see, is because our fringes as a percentage of the overall expenditures of wages are where we're having probably a cost containment problem. I would much rather see it in the wages and not so much in the fringes, but this has been a growing number over the last few years. And as you can see, that's the bulk of our income. That's running about 74% right now. Next slide just shows the fringe benefit, just what I talked about. That's been the largest growing area of the budget for several years. And I know that's happening everywhere, but it's a tough number to try to control. Next one is cash balance. That's just a visual representation of what you're going to see in the 21-page document that I gave you. In the cash balance, that gives you the ratios, the 60 days that we have on hand. And then I've got the conclusions. I'm going to put this actually on the website, so if you want to take some time and look through it. But if you ever want to have a discussion more in depth about finances, we've been able to be stabilized for quite a while, and we're very fortunate because a lot of these bills that are out there are affecting people who are going out regularly for levies. We are not doing that here. So because we're not as dependent on those levies, we're dependent on what we have, but we're not dependent on new money constantly coming in from levies. So as bad as all this is, as bad as this picture is, it could be worse for a district like ours. And we just have to keep our thumb on it and keep trying to manage things the best way we can and try to find independent sources for some of the things we want to do outside of the realm of the normal things that we've been successful with that in the past. And I hope we can keep that up. And with that, I'll entertain any questions you might have.
I have one on the audit. Is it a private firm audit or is it actually the state auditors?
This is actually, we're still in a private firm. We had a cycle of 4 years with a private firm. The last few, I will say, haven't been terribly well done from what I see. This one looks like it's going to be very well done.
Good.
Well, but that's going to take some time. And
I just didn't know if we went back to the state auditors like the actual from the state, or if we still have the private firm.
No,
When
we
you said
don't.
you wanted all those papers, I thought, oh, it must be the state this year.
no,
Okay.
we have the private firm, but I've done enough auditing in my life that I think we're not looking at what all they should have been looking at, but they seem to have a fair comfort level with us because we're very transparent. I actually have them set up on a read-only where they can go into almost all our books. We try to do everything virtually. They never come into the district. We have conversations back and forth. We do everything very electronically. And because it's all there and the open for them to see. So, but they are looking at all aspects of our books, which is what they should be doing.
Right.
And the only problem I have with it is the time that it takes. It at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit the students, but it's a requirement. So we'll get through this like we will everything else. But I really appreciate because the staff's is stepping up with some of these things we've had to do, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to send these hundreds of pages of documents out to these people, and it will be it's an interesting process. So
We appreciate your, but it does actually benefit the students. It keeps us operational. Without passing and being operational, then it would harm our students. So you are indirectly supporting them.
well, I think if everybody in the world could be trusted and be spending their money wisely, and we didn't have to have these audits, those resources could be done differently. But I will say one thing, using a private auditor, and it was a bid process last time, we are at about 60% of the cost we were when we had the state audits. So it's actually a less expensive process working with the private auditors. But knowing that, and knowing that if we have problems with the audits, they'll come back with a revised number. So it's incumbent on us to make sure this audit goes as well and as easily as possible so that we can get through this audit and they can look at their budget. I want them to make the most money they can on the least amount of cost to us, because that means we've done our job and we've provided them all the information they needed and they've been satisfied with it. So that's my goal. Less time is better, but I want to be thoroughly vetted.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions for Carla? Thanks, Carla. Do you have that available? You could like email that to us?
Oh.
Or PDF?
Absolutely. I have it in a PowerPoint, so I can put it in a
Well,
PDF.
PowerPoint would be
I
good. What if
could
we
share this document.
You can
Maybe
get
easier than trying to going out to the web and come back, and we could just,
Yeah, I was actually gonna have this document put out on the website, because I think
that would be great.
it's visual. This document is a requirement. This has lots of information that nobody reads. You have to have an intense desire to sit down and read all this. But I think these charts and graphs give you an overview. And I will be honest, I was extremely amazed that when I compared the two forecasts, that the bottom line was only all this 165,000, which may not surprise others, but we've had some interesting things that have happened this year, and I just didn't expect to be that close. So I was a little concerned about the document I gave you in September, but it seemed to be fairly on target overall. So.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I see no request for public participation, so we will move on to the financial reports from the treasurer. Carla, if you could give us a high-level overview what you would like us to approve.
Yes, just 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5 are all typical examples every month. We have some donations that are given in 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have the receipt of the school bus safety grant for the amount of $81.91. Of course, the approval of the fiscal year forecast, the contract that we have with the auditors. Then we have purchasing 12 cafeteria tables for school outfitters. That is only if we receive the BWC grant, and we're working on that presently. Then the demolition of the old bleachers and the restoration of 757 Klinger Road. And that was one thing we didn't discuss ahead of time. The board applied for a couple of grants with the Miami County Foundation because this is that time of year.
Motion to approve items presented.
I'll second.
Scott, and a second from Maria. Any questions around those items?
Did you want to explain anything about the bleachers, or have you explained that well?
I have not, but if we get this grant, we can hire a company to come in and take out the ancient bleachers across the road and put everything back. In fact, we've got written into a grant with the track and everything will be back to grass seed, and it'll basically be an open lot over there, instead of having remnants of
Cinders and concrete.
Been there for a long time.
And
It's all of us.
it's a state funded grant that the Miami County Commissioners, and it has the same things happening in dark counties where they're looking at distressed or properties that just need to be removed for whatever reason, and
The
that's
library,
taking.
the library's used it for we purchased the house. It used to be next to.
Right,
The.
where the parking lot
Yeah.
is.
And then the house behind the alley, and we used this money to demolish those, so.
It's a great thing. It's just made to improve the surrounding areas.
Great, thanks for the clarity. Any other questions? We have none. Roll call for approval, please.
Mrs. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Mr. Bisager.
Yes.
We have no old business, but our new business items are presented, and just give us an overview of what you'd like us to approve.
certainly. And just as a reminder for those listening in, this agenda is online on our website, so you can follow along with us if you'd like. On our website, so you can follow along with us if you'd like. Resignations are, for those are self-explanatory. We have, we're adding to that in order to oversee a pair of students going to Carrollton every day, and in between that van She's going to be in the classroom helping out some of our teachers during the day. Next two are tip pieces. The SRO in our county, they knew they were going through negotiations. So number three is that change that we expected to see. Number four is the school calendar that we discussed. Once it's voted on or approved, I will place it on the website in a different place. Right now, it's just there as a, please give us their comments. We will put it on there as the actual calendar once it's officialized. Number five, typical doc days there for requested days. Number six is course of study. We do have a couple of new classes. I don't know, Wendy, do you have a short something you want to say
Yeah.
about?
Mr. Park added an Eastern Civilizations class, and Miss Myrie changed our, what should you call it, 7th and 8th grade.
Intro to theater.
Yeah, but no, it's called something else now. And she's changed it, she's gonna change it to Intro to Theater. Can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, it's our class for junior high. She wanted to more focus on theater than just kind of random stuff. She tightened that up a little bit.
Yeah, when I saw that in there, Joe sent it to us and I'm like, oh, I like that.
That's cool.
She does some
Yeah,
portions of that anyway, but she wanted to make it more into that than the other. So,
And that's her bailiwick. I mean, she knows.
Yeah.
And that will be great for the kids. That I think.
Number seven, we're purging some old materials. Number eight, we're buying a video intercom system for the secretaries to buzz people in at the doors with actual cameras on it, so we don't have to rely on the camera, the security cameras in vestibules that are a long ways away from the people. This will have a camera right on the buzzer, so to speak, so when they buzz it, the camera comes on, it shows up at their desk, and we can move, if one of the secretaries is on lunch, we can move that back to a different desk during that same time, and it's a great discount. We lucked out on this one, let's just say that. Number nine, typical thing with OHSAA, we've got to pay them a lot of money to be involved.
Did we add, oh, no, never mind. I was thinking our conference, not OHSAA. I didn't know if we added anyone to the conference.
No.
Good.
No. Nope.
I know we talked about it before. But I
No,
never heard
no, that has been admirably shot down.
Okay.
A motion to approve items presented.
so moved.
Second. Thank you. Any other discussion, clarifications, or questions? No one has any, then roll call for approving as presented.
Mrs. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
And the last one here is add some additional ventilation to the greenhouse, automated stuff. But we looked at the plans, we actually had a second group look at them, and they said, you really need to do something more here. So that's what this change order is.
Motion to approve. So, thanks, Scott. And a second.
I'll second.
Thanks, Maria. Any other questions for Joe? If none, roll call for approving the change order.
Mrs. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes. Next is a motion to enter executive session for item G1 on your agenda. Motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
Thanks, Maria. And a second.
Second.
Roll call for entering executive session.
Mrs. Hill,
Yes.
Dr. Swab,
Yes.
Mrs. Brewer,
Yes.
Mr. Bisecker.
Yes.
20.
7:20, and there'll be no formal actions taken after the executive session.